Hello guys. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Thank you so much guys. Ating mga kaibigan, saan man sulok ng mundo, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Ating mga kaibigan OFW, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat and umaga. Thank you so much guys. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Thank you so much guys. Nakakamiss lang talaga ang mga kwento ni Tatay Digong. 6 million in the house, palike naman po. Nakakamiss lang ang kwento ni Tatay Digong at saka si Pastor Quiboloy. Pakinggan natin guys. Thank you so much.
Ng buong daigdig. At upang ipakilala ang ating makakapanayam sa gabing ito sa kanyang programa ay narito po ang ating pinakamamahal na pastor, Pastor Apollo C. Magandang gabi po, Pastor.
Panooren. Magandang gabi sa lahat ng mga televiewers, mga kababayan natin. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi o magandang hapon. Sama po kayo naroon sa ating bansang Pilipinas o sa buong sanlibutan. Ay narito po tayo muli sa nagigiliwan yung programang Gikan sa Masa para sa Masa ng ating hindi na siguro ating panauhin ngayon, kundi talagang siya ay taga dito na sa SM9 at ito ay ng mga kababayan at muli sa pagkakataong ito na nagkaroon ng panahon ng ating butihing panauhin ay magkakaroon muli tayo ng talakayan sa ating Gikan sa Masa para sa Masa. At sa ating pong talakayan ngayong gabi ay hindi ko na po ipakikilala sapagkat yung lahat ang ating tagapagsalita ngayong gabi. Ito, walang iba kundi ang ating pinakamamahal dating presidente ng bansang Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Magandang gabi niyo.
Pastor, mga members sa Kingdom at mga Pilipino. Pastor, I just passed by the dressing room. Thank you for the jacket. Alam ba niyo yung term arborized? It's a slang for, you know, the word slang popularly perceived to be, alam ng Pilipino, is the dull. Yung mga Amerikano, when they talk about anything, and they can always say anything that you can understand. That's the draw. O ang islang is yung kagaya ng Bisaya ng hindi masyado gago ka, ganon. Those are the slang. Ang pagkaintindi kasi ng Pilipino karamihan, almost everybody. And I am not, I don't blame them. Ang sabi ko salita is because when I begin to talk, there's always something that I have to explain beyond the reasonable. Parang, it's not slang. It's the drawl, maybe diphthong sa. Slang is yung bastos. Yan ang slang. So, well anyway, for the learning, kung makatulong na rin ako sa added, nung sa dressing room ako, my graduation exercises. School of Medicine. Then you have the School of Law. I was just minimake upan ako ni yung babaeng yan. Hindi ko lang sabihin. I was listening to graduation exercises in the kingdom. And sandali ay just automatic. Ma-recall ko yung lahat na dumaan na dito sa educational institution ng kingdom. Pastor, alam mo, kilala man kita. Nung pobre ka pa, at pobre rin ako. And you had a chapel of sin, pati not a covered.
Hello, Tirang Bahala. Good morning sa iyo. Tirang Bahala. Thank you so much for coming, Tirang Bahala. Ma'am Label, thank you so much. Make a love shout out.
Thing, but kapilya dyan sa Agdao. At when I look at the television, pinapalabas dyan, hindi ko kung bakit, how God used you the lives of human being. Hindi ko kansa sa kaligayahan ko na yung access, you open something, you access to people. Gaya ng punta ka ng UP, punta ka ng San Beda, punta ka ng Lasal. And yet, dito, on the northern side, if you reckon it from the city, meron dito na eskwelahan that have produced excellent lawyers, excellent educators, at iba pa. And now you have the School of Medicine. I am pretty sure that you will produce good doctors, specialists, and maybe scientists by the grace of God. So, in behalf of yung tao, the marginalized, pati yung who can afford to go to school. Sa kalayo ng siyudad, ka-traffic ngayon, pag-aralan mo yung anak mo, you're up north, mag-aral ang anak mo, you have to go this rigorous thing about traffic. And they cannot be on time. And it's a very hassle because it's a growing city. Now, if you ask me, is there a remedy Well, we can always try to correct things, but it would not be as significant as really an improvement for all. Ngayon, nandito itong eskwelahan na ito. You need not go to the downtown. Hindi ka na kailangan pumunta ng UM, Ateneo. Mahusaya sila na eskwelahan. Go to Manila, you go to yung iba, bugot ka, San Beda lang. Pati, wala na. Hindi ka na kailangan magdipad doon, nandito na. And you get as a good quality education. Na kung sabihin mo, papasok ka ng bar. Marami namang bright na taga-Davao ng mga abogado. Baski ako, kung magturo ako dito, sabi ko kay pastor, the standard that I will use, the standard that I grew up with sa law school. Kaya kung ganun ang passing average, tapos mahusay na abogado, you are as good as my school, actually. Pero doon mga pare, hindi natin kalaban yon, eskwelahan ko man. Yung ibang pare lang sa ibang eskwelahan. Pero tayo dito, I don't know how to express it in public. Whether it is gratitude for the people, whether it is something that a gift from God to you and your gift to the people. So we cannot be in this life forever. I'm getting old. In all probability, I'll be the first to go. Talagang you are the son of God. Totoo yan. Iba kasi you would accept it. The cynic, the sarcastic people, si ibang anak ng Diyos. Well, lahat tayo anak ng Diyos. I am a son of God too.
True.
But the heavens will not just pick anybody there. You would know na anak ng Diyos by His words, by His deeds, and by His proclamation. At yung sinasabi mo, lumabas mo sa bunganga noon, ayun na, nakikita ko na nga. And I am not only dazzled even by the colors of this room. I'm totally, hindi ko ba ano kung bakit. Except, if I explain it in any manner, there's only one explanation. It's God giving you the gift, and really, you are the son of God again. Totoo. Hindi ako nagbubulapasan. I am a very sarcastic person. And hindi rin ako basta mabilib lang yung mga ganon-ganon. But hindi ako nagkamali, binigyan kita ng respeto, I give you friendship, I offered it to you. he accepted it. Now we are friends. At ang relasyon natin, hanggang dyan lang. We do not even think about God. Because alam mo na deep within you, you know na talagang anak rin ako ng Diyos. Pero medyo hindi lang na-recognize. I mean, recognize that you are a. It's not. What I'm trying to say, it's not freely given to all. God has a good sense, and namimili siya ng tao who's poetic, who's an orator, who can talk and who can convince people. I don't know if I can convince people. Pero na presidente ako, marami man din siguro akong nabula kay dumating man ako doon. Seriously. It's not, I said, it's not talent. It's even the holiness of the man that's very striking to us. So, kailangan ko, hindi ko palapasin kasi nakita ko doon sa dressing room. When I was fixing this thing. Salamat, Pastor, ha? Iuwi ko na ito.
Oo. Iuwi mo yan sa'yo yan. Looks good on you.
I-close up mo nga kasi ang record dito, I must confess my ignorance. I am not an all-knowing man. Binasa ko, Edinburgh, yung nag-make up sa akin, corrected me. It's pronounced
Edinburgh. Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Para tayong mga, hindi naman ako punta ng Edinburgh. Edinburgh. Parang gano'n. So, Edinburgh. This, basahin mo Edinburgh. So, let us begin, Pastor.
Mayor. Itong Philippine national security and the Israel-Hamas conflict, Mayor, Israel has been alert since the weekend when armed members of the Hamas launched a series of surprise attacks which included indiscriminate killings of civilians and the taking of hostages. As of this time, 6 Filipinos are missing. One is still verified to be among those killed, and 23 have been rescued by Israeli Defense Forces. Aside from the repatriation and evacuation of Filipino migrants in these conflict areas, should the Philippines learn from the situation with regard to national security, Mayor?
Well, it is not a learning process because the problem has been there. And alam natin, because Hamas already massing. May intelligence failure nga hindi ko rin maintindihan sa Israel. Because there was already in the newspaper, worldwide, even on TV, that the Hamas was massing, gathering weapons and men at the southern end of Lebanon. And hindi yung telltale eh. It was there for all to see. But walang preparation in anticipation of an attack or invasion. That's why there was a festival for young people. Alam mo yung mga bata talaga. Gusto yan ng mga sayaw-sayaw, gano'n. So there was a racket going on there. RA, racket. Alam mo yung mga bata, gusto magsulok-sulok, so magulo. And suddenly they were attacked. So maraming patay. And some of them were dragged into Gaza in the territory of the Hamas. Yan ang problema ngayon. Kaya meron rin siguro ang Pilipino, may namatay. Who should answer for this? Well, every nation has condemned, and I am condemning Hamas and Hezbollah because they are also beginning to tinker in the northern, sa southern ito, northern. There are Filipinos there. Or drug or hostage. We do not like it. And all of us Filipinos, and even our Muslim brothers and sisters, should condemn itong mga ganito na klaseng terrorism. We are all sons and daughters of God. We do not like this. And we will hold responsible itong Hamas or which has befallen to the people in Gaza. Ang masakit, pati are there just to earn a living. Masakit sa atin yan. At condemning it, I have our government come. I don't know if there is one coming up. But every day I read the national papers. Wala akong narinig condemning this atrocious act. Any human being, hindi ka kailangan maging president ka o prime minister, should express what is evil. You know, kasi dalawa nga lang dito sa mundo. Yung tama o mali. Yung sabi nila ng Hamas, tama yung ginagawa nila. What? Tama pagpatay ng mga inosente. Ubusin mo yung Israeli army for all I care. You can massacre all, but you should not harm even one single innocent civilian. He may be an Arab, Palestine, or Israeli, or yung mga tourists doon, French, German, kasali na. So it's a tenderback. Because ang Philippines, even one Filipino, sa ganon, I will go to war. Hindi mo na kailangan i-massacre mo yung Pilipino na marami. Gumawa ka lang ng one single injustice for no reason at all. You kill your hostage. I will go to war. And we will all die. And that will be the end for the world. Kung ako ang may atomic bomb, ihulog ko talaga. Alam mo kung saan ihulog? Sa Iran. Because itong Hamas na ito, ang amo ng Hamas. Sito sa southern end, kasi Iran eh. Dito taas, well, it's a mixture. But itong Hamas, Hezbollah, iba-iba itong Arab na tribo. Para itong terorista talaga. Parang NPA ba? may Ilocano, may Ilonggo, may Bisaya, may Stupido, may Ugok, nandiyan, sumali sa kanila. Gayon din itong Hamas at Hezbollah. Different tribes, different Arab tribes. Hindi lang man ang Arab, is kaya Filipino. Pero meron dyan Ilocano, Bulanon, lahat. But this one is a deadly mixture motivated by violence and one aim. The dream talaga nito is to kill Iran. Ang ambisyon ng Iran is to wipe out every Jew dito sa mundong ito. Kung ako ang parinigin mo niyan, Israel as an atomic bomb. I think it is only Israel may atomic bomb dyan sa Middle East. Ihulog ko na lang yan, sabihin ko, tapos tayo lahat. Huwag mo akong ganunin. So if there is a representative of the Jewish state Israel, pasa lang kay Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, na kung ako, yan ang gawin ko. At ako naman, if you are an Arab state who has cranial mass inside your, you must condemn and just say, Adre, my neighbor, my brother Arab, please do not do it in excess. Masisira ang mundo. This guy, he has the atomic bomb. And he can decide to end the world. Now, we are talking of what the factual things happening in this world. Now, we go into the spiritual sphere. You know, many things in the prophecy in the Bible, and says that are we in the near the end of the world? Can the prophecy happen now? Because there is a prophecy. Basahin ninyo. We go spiritual. We listen to the pastors. We listen to the religious people. And even ito kasi mundo magulo. So may illustration tayo kung gaano tayo kalapit sa mundo. Alas 12 yung They have moved the clock 19 minutes towards the end. As far as I can remember, this is the pinakamalapit. Pinakadikit doon sa alas 12. And that alas 12 will end the world. How can it happen? You know, Iran, with all its pretension and some Arab countries, hindi ko naman inaano. But I love the Muslims. But kasi itong Iran, the Iranians are not Arabs, huh? Mind you.
Persians.
Persians yan sila. They are called the Persian Onion in the old world. Yan talaga ang promotor noon pa. So they should, Saudi Arabia is the most pinaka-prominent of the Arab, should begin to exert pressure now to make Lebanon and Hamas and Hezbollah to make amends. Kasi marami ng Israel for all the longest time, ito na yung maraming, it's not even, they were not even killed in a war. They were there, there was a sudden attack, the young people there were festivities somewhere.
House to house pa.
Alam mo, mabigat ito. Kung ako, mabigat sa akin yan. You just attack wherever, Matagalog ka, Ilocano ka, Bisaya ka, Bicolano ka. If you do that to your neighbor, I will not just take it sitting down. So, itong mga high profile na with so much influence on the Arab affairs should think now of how to correct things if it can be corrected. Kasi kung ako si Netanyahu, pulpugin ko yung Hamas. Sabihin ko, Hamas is a place. Mix yan eh, may Palestinians, may Israel, and melting pot. Sabihin ko sa umalis kayong lahat dyan, I'm giving you 48 hours. Do not bring your refrigerator, do not bring your furniture. Bring your yung anong suot mo ngayon, umalis ka in 48 hours. Kapag hindi, well, I'm putting you on notice, I will level it to the ground para wala ng Gaza. No more Gaza to fight for. I will make a dead place. Kasama na yung matamaan ng bomba. I will forget about Gaza. I will just say, mga Israel, bumalik na kayo, maghanap kayo ng pwesto dito sa lugar natin at kayong mga Palestine, the good ones, the innocent ones, umatras kayo kasi pulpugin ko ito. And I will make it the biggest cemetery in the world.
Wow.
Kung ako, yun talagang gawin ko. Masama ako ng tao, talagang masama ang tao. Mamatay ako ng tao, katagal na ako nang mamatay ng tao. Nagmanda na nga ako. Am I a violent man? Yes. If there is reason to be violent and angry. Walang problema. Am I excessively, well, we are not created equals. Me, anong ka-level ko sa intellectual, spiritual world? Pareho kami ni Satanas. Satanas ka, wag mo akong lukuhin. You just wait for my homecoming. Kasi pupunta man talaga ako sa Europe. that will be the day that you will be replaced. Ikaw kasi may buntot ng yawa ka. Yun una kong gawin. Putulin ko yung buntot mo at pakain ko sa iyo. And I will say to the heavens, to the Lord, okay na tayo, Lord. Hayaan mo na kami kasi makasala mo talaga ako. Lahat ng mga, dito na lang kami kasi we cannot mix with the angels and the good people there. So we stay in hell. But you know, you have to eliminate, it's a metaphor also. You have to eliminate this. Hindi pwede yung mga gano'n na rulers of nations or groups, violent terrorist groups, to have their way and just kill people without rhyme or reason. Hindi pwede gano'n.
Grabe.
Masama naman. So, dito sa atin, well, magsabi ako, hindi naman ako presidente. Pero pag nakita ako ng may ganitong gawin dito, nangyari na yan noon eh. Hindi sa panahon ko. Wag din subukan. Because I will make noise. And maybe, sabihin ko sa the rest of the nation na hindi masama. Gira tayo. Take up arms and we will kill all also. Huwag na tayong ito nangyari sa I said was a intelligence failure. Nandiyan na ilang araw na yan doon.
Why, Mayor? What is the reason why the Mossad, the intelligence agency officers, the best in the world? What happened?
One reason is just either they're indolent or complacency. Ayaw ko mag-insulto sa kanila. Maki ang respeto ko sa mga Mossad. But why the hell this thing happened? There has to be an answer. Either you are not doing your duty, stupid, you are indolent, or there was this sense of comfort zone, complacency. Kumpiyansa ba? Now, dito sa atin, I don't know about the stand of the government. I'm just a former president. Nakahan ko na because come out of Malacanang or any government agency for that matter. I will say that this is not tied with Israel. We have always been neutral. Baski ako nung presidente ako. The Arab is good, Israel is good. Ang akin. I feel for the Middle East, and I love the Muslims, Filipino Muslims in this country. But there has to be reason and a time for reckoning for everything. It's out of tune and it has harmed so many people. Now, terrorism is always everywhere. It is in Europe, it is in America, and dito sa atin, but I'm just warning you, wag niyong gawin dito yung ganon. Ulit, kung nangyari man yan noon, I don't know how to what extent that you murdered your own fellow human beings without
Harmless people. Civilians. And yung mga
because
bata,
I would not take it.
the babies.
Kung ayaw ninyo mga Pilipino magtindig, kung takot kayong mamatay, ako mag-isa, dadaling ko yung Armalite, papatayin ko yung turista kung saan sila. Kung papatayin na ako nila, salamat po. Mapaghiga na ako sa langit. Sa impyerno. Pero hindi ako, nag-warning lang ako. Hindi ako tatanggap. Kasi ako, naging presidente ako. Hindi ako tatanggap na. I will not, for the life of me, endure stupidity and
Mayor, the Marawi siege, you were in Russia then, and
yes.
you had yet to meet President Putin, but it's erupted. What did you do?
Well, I was in Moscow at the time preparing for the day because I was going to the parang legislative nila. After that, to see the President Putin, pumotok ang Marawi. Look, ang taga Marawi ang lola ko, huwag niyo akong bulsi. Ang mga taga Marawi, walang kasalanan yan noon. Yung mga terorista na pumasok doon, dinamay nila ang Maranao at ang Marawi. So that in Moscow, I declared martial law. Ang order ko sa military, tapusin mo to the last man. And I was asked by the foreign media how long this would last. Tapos sagot ko, until the last terrorist is eliminated. Ayan ang sinabi ko sa military.
Very decisive.
Tapusin mo lahat. Patayin mo lahat. Ayaw ko. Do not give me yung mga prisoner. Sabi ko sa military pati pulis. Papakainin ko pa yan, gwardiyan pa yan. Makatakas pa yan, papatayin kayo ulit. Patayin mo na lahat. Lahat. Hayaan mo nang ilibing man nila o hindi, wala tayong pakialam. We have to protect Marawi and the people of Marawi. Do not harm them because innocent yan at walang kasalanan. And I feel for them. Ang lula ko galing doon. Huwag ninyong saktan yung inosente. Itong mga terorista, patayin ninyo na. So, on the pataas tayo, Pastor. This is actually a proxy war between Iran and Israel. And yung mga radical na Arab states. Ngayon, kung hindi makatiis itong if the fighting goes out of control, uubusin talaga ito. Tingnan niyo ha. Itong kasapulpugin talaga ng Israel yan. But of course, they would everybody to go out. They would make it a dead city or kung mayroon mga matay man, the biggest cemetery. They will make sure na there is no longer Gaza. Wala na. It would be a barrier between the rest of it. Ngayon, kung gano'n ang mangyari, papasok itong Iran or some other Arab states, I hope they would not join the fray. Pag ito, alam ng Israel na itong Iran funded, organized, and husbanded the organization. So there is a possibility, I think, that Iran would be bombed by an atomic bomb. Kung ito si Netanyahu, he's a classic warrior. Hindi yan pampolitiko si warrior. You know, his brother died fighting the terrorists. Si Netanyahu, sundalo yan. He's not a classic example. The most that I could identify him with the Filipino, parang si Ramos yan. But ito si Netanyahu is more warrior. Ramos was a very decent man. Sundalo pero he was always ito si Netanyahu, hindi ito for peace. Even before this war, really a wartime. Panggera talaga ito. And he has lost in elections, parliamentary, naging prime minister, elections and parliamentary, natalo sila, naalis siya. I think this is the third or fourth time balik. Itong Israel naman, yung mga Jews, karamihan Jews yan eh. Jews yung Israel. Jew is Israel. In the time past, they were scattered nung Holocaust ng Germany. They were exterminated. Pinatay ni Hitler 6 million Jews. Slaughtered dyan sa Germany. Bata, babae, pinatay ni Hitler na. Yun ang kabarkada niya siya. Hindi man ako barkada niya sa tanas kay maya man tayo kay pastor. Hanap ko lang ng ibang kaibigan. Yun. Ngayon, yung iba, World War I yun, ha? World War II, mas lalo. Pero World War I, after that, maraming US na scatter. Kaya yan mga wandering Jew. Yan eh. Wala silang homeland kasi. Tribe yan sila. Kagaya ba ng yung ethnic na yung sa Europe, yung civilization. Kaya lang sila Jew, kung hari mga Bisaya o Ilocano, pero ang religion nila is Jewish. Pero hindi masyado ang dynamics ng religion nila. Hindi masyado ang Muslim ang ayaw sa kanila. And others, I don't know, but they hated the Jews. Kaya itong wandering Jew. Without derogating the Chinese. Para ito silang Chinese, baski saan. Baski saan sa mundo nandiyan yan sila. Ito yan sila. Ito na silang wandering Jew. When Hitler came to power, hinanap niya itong lahat. Kung paga itong mga in-check gano'n, itong mga Jew hinanap niya tapos in-slaughter niya. So yung iba, at yung early pa, mga late 30s, bata na itong mga Jews sa Europe because they were persecuted. One of the country, we opened our doors and gave them access to our land, ang Pilipinas. We accepted them in the name of humanity. That's the reason why also, kung tinanong ninyo ako previously dito, kung tatanggap ba ako ng mga refugees sa Afghan, yes. Hindi naman lahat Afghans na gago eh. Hindi naman violent eh. Yung Afghans na who are escaping the... Okay. I will open my doors to the Afghans. Ang problema lang dito, ang Amerikano. Kasi ang Amerikano, masyadong gusto kong, si Inday ang unang nagsabi, ayaw niya. Kasi Inday perceived to be parang Prrd, gano'n yan eh. If you are not if you are a friend of my enemy, you are my enemy. Sabi ni Inday, ayaw niya ng mga Afghan kasi diskumpiyado. Ako naman, I took a milder. Sabi ko, if you are proven to be good, law-abiding, good Muslims, bigyan. So, but hanggang ngayon, ang Amerika, would not say, ilan ang ilalagay nila dito sa atin. Ito namang Amerika, kung magka-problema sila, lahat tignan ninyo, you review your history all over the world. Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, lahat yan, Afghanistan. Sila tan with their tail wagging. Tapos yung lahat nagtatrabaho para sa kanila, yun ang kinupkup nila, dinala nila kasi patayin talaga eh. Na naghalos na kakigata sa Afghanistan rin. Lumilipad na yung aeroplano, nakahawak pa yung mga tao sa ito yung Amerika eh. Kaya on the yung tail end sa kalokohan nila, yan, kupkupin because they maybe humanitarian duty to at least papatayin talaga. Kayo, dinidistribute nila. Tinatanong ko sa Amerika ngayon, at I will ask the President to ask America to open the records and show to us ilang Afghans. They are Muslims. So there is always a fear that they would connect with the Muslim Philippines or terrorism. I do not buy that stuff. I think that my brother Muslim and sisters are good. They do not want to. Gusto lang natin maghanap buhay. I'm asking the President, sabihin mo sa amin, President Marcos, ask the Americans, how many Afghans have you access to the Philippines? Ilan ang dinala ninyo dito? Kasi kung yung sobra, dalhin ninyo sa Amerika yan. Napunta man ako ng Amerika, yung Nevada desert, buglag ng tubig, it could be productive. Ilagay mo lahat yung mga kaibigan mong napasubo. Huwag mo kaming bigyan ng bagahe. Naintindihan ninyo? Why do we have to share the burden of your stupidity? Kayo na yung kabira dyan, natatalo kayo palagi, and you keep on. Pag kami dito nagkagira, mayroon kayong problema, huwag kayo magsali. But it will never be a war against the Muslim Filipinos and Christian Filipinos. That cannot happen. That cannot happen. We do not have that kind of... Basket ko. Pagkitna na. Mamumuhay lang tayo ng mapayapa. Christians do not abuse the Filipino Muslims. Filipino Muslims do not create trouble the Christian. Tahimik lang tayo dito. Pero gawain sa atin yan ng ibang... Kung may magawa dyan sa ginagawa dyan sa ating mga Muslim brothers, yan, hindi ako papayag. I will go to war for my Muslim brothers. I will go to war if they are abused. Puro Muslim naman yung pinatay nila doon. Hindi naman lahat Jews. Ngayon, ang bumba-bumba ng Amerikano, di nadamay. Okay, nakasali na ngayon ito. Pulpugin talaga yan. So my advice to Netanyahu, if there is a representative of Israel listening now, nakikisipit na yan. Pulpugin ninyo lahat, pati lahat na. Kayong mga Israel dyan na hindi umalis, o kasali na kayo. Palestine, kung matigas ulo ninyo,
In the Philippines, Mayor, armed groups associated with the Islamic State of Iraq or the ISIS remains as the deadliest threat in the Philippines. How important are the confidential funds like what your daughter, the Vice President, at the same time the DepEd Secretary, is asking for, that they made a big issue out of it, na demonize pa siya. Di ba important itong intelligence fund na to, when you are president, this is your forte, na hindi makalusot ang droga, hindi makalusot ang mga terorista dito, because you have a wide intelligence.
Pastor, I seldom talk to my daughter. But 4 days ago, we buried the ashes of my sister, si Jocelyn, nung namatay sa cancer. Dinala namin doon sa cemetery. Yung nanay ko, kapatid ko, Jocelyn, pati may isa akong kapatid na namatay na sunod sa akin, lalaki. So, tatay ko. She stayed a while. And I think, hindi kami nag-uusap na Inday. Actually, that was the first time in so many months. Christmas, hindi kami nagkikita. I don't know what... yun ang ano namin sa dynamics sa atin ni Inday. But she made a way, sabi ko, tignan ko yung intelligence fund mo. Anong gagawin mo? O nag-usap kami. I was just listening to him. I'd just like to know. Sabi ko, yung papel mo na how you would spend the intelligence fund. Ipasirox mo lang, ipadala mo. So, binasa ko. Okay lang. Yan, Pastor. We protect our nation. But it is not only the military and the police. Ako yung utak ni Inday. There is a clamor for the ROTC to be existing again. Maraming nang ayaw ng ROTC. Hindi na compulsory. Sa amin, compulsory talaga. Tayo, compulsory.
Compulsory.
Gusto Inday ibalik yan.
Yes.
Gusto talaga niya. Kasi si Inday is a reservist. Light colonel si Inday o colonel na sa reserve. Yan. So, ang ano ni Inday, yung mga usually. So, binasa ko yung rational. Ang plano niya, unahan ko na lang. So, I'm sorry, I have to divulge this because ako naman na yung binigay mo naman sa akin. I just make it public. Gamitin niya ang pera. It's only 125 million.
Yeah.
Gamitin niya sa mga PMT. Palakasin niya sa high school. Pati ibalik talaga niya yung ROTC. Ipilit niya. So make it compulsory. But that would be a long process kasi matagal na kasing nawala yung compulsory ROTC. Sabi niya pa, I would like to have a soft landing. Kasi ayaw ng mga bata. Alam mga bata, gusto inom, suroy, ganon. Hindi na alam yung at least a little amount, space, and time na magkaroon sila ng sense of love of country, ganon. So, papasok ito sa ROTC. Sabi niya, ngayon, hindi ito madala kayo, mapilit ka agad. You have to have a soft landing. Sabi niya, seminar muna, bago sa enrollment, o dalhin sa kampo yung mga field trip muna nila, continuous yan, para makita ng mga bata kung ito yung mga kanyo natin, yung hawakan sa tangke de guerra. Pasakayin sila sa aeroplano. Yun ang plano niya. Na sinabi niya. Yung PMT naman sa pa lang, gusto niyang palagpas. Sabi ko, dahil, how many PMTs there are in the Philippines? How many are? Maghihi ka lang 125 million. So, ito, sabi niya, seminar mo lang mga ano yung could ever be. Hindi man naintindihan ng mga komunista yan. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, magprangka ka na lang. Itong intelligence fund na ito, gagamitin ko para sa utak ng Pilipino kasi ito ang target ko, kayong mga komunista nandyan sa Congress. Pati kayong mga komunista. Prangkahin mo na yan si Franz, pati Larja, sa bagay kaibigan ko yung, kaibigan ko lahat eh. Siya sa Tor Ocampo, mahal ko sila. At no other time, history ng Pilipinas, ang Communist Party of the Philippines, lahat ng liderato nila, I invited them to break bread with me sa Malacanang. Nagkain kami doon ng gabi. Sabi ko sa military, wag ba akong ano yun. Doon bag me with this. Pinapasok ko, I open the gate. Gabi. Kumain kami. Sila sa Toro, sila lahat. Kasi magkaibigan, pinakain ko kayo dito. Sabi ko kay Inday, diretsuhin mo na. So itong intelligence fund na ito is to prepare the minds of the Filipinos itong insurgency na hindi matapos-tapos. And the ROTC, para preparado tayo kung magkagera ganitong sitwasyon ngayon.
No.
Pag wala tayong sundalo, meron tayong mga bata who will take care of the respective barangay to help government.
Yes.
Sabihin mo sa pero hindi man niya sinabi. Sabi niya, alam mo kasi Paco, sinabi ko, baka iharas na yung mga PMT. Marami yan buong Pilipinas. Yun lang naman sana magkakaroon lang ng mga seminar-seminar. Hindi yung military, kaya military kasi nagre-resist nga eh. The reason why itong mga bata dito ayaw ng PROTC kasi ayaw ng military. They are hindi ng Pilipino love ang military. Tayo, ikaw love natin because I know and you know what they are sacrificing for. But it is not easy for that to sink. Kailan ng soft landing yan eh. Pilitin na siya dito, rotation kayo dito. Hindi ka makaproduce ng and they will never learn. Yun naman. Ayaw nila matuto eh. Pupunta lang yun doon, every Saturday. But kung i-condition mo yung tao, I said, make a soft landing this month. Sabi niya, yeah, I am just articulating what in cemetery doon. Ngayon, ayaw niyang, it was never a time for her to say public. Pinadala niya ako right after that. Zero niya sa opisina, tinawagan niya, bigyan. So binasa ko yung rational or the wisdom of what she intends to do. Sabi ko, kung ayaw nila, di, okay lang, ibigay mo sa military. Let the military convince our young people kung madala nila. Give it to them. Yung iyo, sa wakay, sabi ko, yung iapat yan, kung makatulong ka lang. Ano ba naman yung 125 million?
Yeah.
Sabi ko, bale, sabi ko. Yun ang yung hinawakan ko na papel. Yun ang ano niya. Yun ang plano sana niya. Hindi yung intelligence pa para gastos and sikreto. Hindi naman kami gutom pa. Ano ba na yung 125 million? Ako wala ang pera, pero kung 125 million lang, saksak ko sa bunga ng Pransya. I can produce that naman. Maghiram lang ako sa iyo, basi 1 billion. Si Inday, bakit siya magsabi na magnakaw? Punta lang siya kay Pastor. Pastor, bigyan mo ako ng 200 million. Pastor, what just...
Sure, man.
Kasi ang pera ni Pastor hindi naman galing sa Central Bank, galing sa Diyos. Hindi naman sa tapo. Totoo yan, kayo mga taga-Maynila, kayo mga congressman yan, mga senador. Baka sabihin ninyo talaga kami na, hindi lang kami yung ibang maghingi ng hangol kami ng pera. Kayo ang marami alam mo, pag mag-liquidate ka, ano yung masking? Mag-liquidation tayo and you will find out what is rotten institution dito. You will find its Congress. Walang limit ang nila dyan. Yung pork barrel, pati yan si Romualdez, he's wallowing. Alam mo kasi, ayaw ko kung bakit, ano niya si Inday. Si Inday naman is perceived to be a good candidate.
Mm.
But I'm saying now that Inday, as far as I'm concerned, should not run for president. Tama na yung vice president. Maganda na yan. Ibigay na niya sa iba. This Romualdez, speaker, yan ang sige bigay ng mga congressman, pinabusog nila lahat. Pero sabi ko, mag-audit tayo. Because the speaker is poised to be or to run for president. Well and good. Gusto ko ikaw ang mapresidente. Kasi noon kaibigan kita, wala pa yan si Marcos, nakakampanya pa. Parang sinasabi ka na gusto mo. Sabi ko, okay. I was not thinking of my daughter. Perceive lang yan siya to be good candidate. Pero tuluyan ko na, ikaw na, Romualdez. Pero maghigi ako ng audit. We'll ask everybody, from the farmer to the businessman, to the church people, to every Filipino, to every soldier and policeman, that we all demand that we open the liquidation.
Oo.
Lahat para malaman rin namin kung paano ninyo winaldas ang pera namin. Yung pera namin hindi man sa inyo. Just because you are the keeper of the kayo ang mag-distribute, okay yan. Pero tignan ko yung how much have you spent. So, because if the COA will not do it, then I am asking the Filipino, everybody, every soldier, every policeman, every farmer, to demand para malaman natin once and for all kung sino ang nagwawaldas ng pera sa Pilipinas.
Mayor, tama. Kasi masakit sa amin, ito ang masakit sa akin, itong mga ibang bayarang vlogger, sasabing, Inday, patay gutom, magnanakaw. Sobra na yon. That's below the belt. And we know that you have been paid to do that. We will not take that sitting down. Kaya tama yung sinabi ng ating dating Pangulo, we need an audit of all the money that are being spent.
Hindi lang confidential fund. Ikaw, Franz, kayo nga komunista dyan sa Congress. Yung mga left, how did you spend the money of this? Do not make yourselves an exception. Ako, Presidente, open. You go, buksan mo lahat. Mayor, ako, taga Davao, kilala mo ninyo ako. Gaganito, kaganda.
Right.
Niwaldas ko yung discretionary fund ko, intelligence fund. Gaganito kaya, you know the history of Davao. Nandiyan si Pastor. Kayo lahat, you're living with this. Now, Davao, how did it came about? How did it flourish? Pati office of the president. How much are you spending? Kaibigan ba natin si Bongbong? Pero para wala ng make COA the guardian of the people's money. Open up everything including yours, kayong taga-COA. Kasi kung mag-audit kayo minsan, tapos may nakita kayo ulit, binibigyan kayo, tumatanggap kayo, at pinapalusot ninyo. So pati kayo, open up. Kayo mga Pilipino, ilang COA investigations? Huwag lang ninyong tanungin na pangalan. Sabihin ninyo, magkano ang binibigay nila sa mga COA? Investigar. Totoo yan. Kaya nung akong prosecutor, tanod bayan ako. Wala pa yung ombudsman. I was a special prosecutor of the tanod bayan. Yun ang predecessor ng ombudsman sa bagong constitution. Kaya may makita ako minsan na mga municipal auditor, municipal treasurer, pupunta ng korte, gidla-gidla yung barong, siyang sira, parang hiniram lang. Sabi ko, Tres, bakit? Ano, ay may kaso. Sige, akong special prosecutor ako ng, in addition to being a prosecutor sa city government, I was as a tanod bayan special prosecutor. Ombudsman na yan ngayon. Wala bang ombudsman? So, ako bakit? Yung purchase ng tractor doon sa munisipyo ba? Kami, gano'n. No? Siyempre, mayor talaga ng kukupit yan. Sino pa? Gobernador or mayor, magpangkahan tayo. Yung mga treasurer, wala binibigyan eh. Kung bibigyan man, magandang loob yung mayor. Makaawa ito mga to. Kaya binibagsak ko yung kaso. Ako na maghanap, ibagsak ko yung kaso. Kasi alam ko yung pera, hindi naman pumunta sa kanya. Sabi ko, sige lang, next time. Bagsak ko itong kaso. May nawalang pera, pero hindi sa kanya pumunta. Bakit ko pirituhin ito? Simple justice. Why would I place him in hell? Na alam ko man sa loob ko, tanda na ako. Sabihin ko na sa Pilipino lang, alam ko na, kawawa ito. Now, back tayo dito sa terrorism. Ganun kasi, that's the, you have to rumble on. Kasi hindi rin niya ako maintindihan rin. I have to, hindi invent stories. I have to mag-storytelling ako para maintindihan ninyo ang gaano ang utak ko tumatakbo. Itong terrorism will affect us whether we like it or not. But I am just praying na itong ating mga kapwa Pilipino, please do not do that. We are living in normal times. Huwag naman sana. I protect us, brothers of different religion and persuasions. Yes, I protect you. Itong the last is yung mga maote abusaya. My deepest appreciation to the military and the police. Medyo, and to the military especially.
Hello, Filipino boy. May kami kalab shout out. Sir Efren, may kami kalab shout out. Oo nga, Sir Efren, dapat magbaba na si Bangag wala rin kakwenta-kwentang pamumuno niya. So thank you so much, Kuya Efren, Filipino boy. Thank you, thank you.
Air Force, Navy, Army, and the policeman, and the kafur, the lowly kafur, sa insurgency.
Yes, ma'am.
Mababa na tanong. Kasi dito, punta ka ng bukid.
Oh.
At sana huwag na bumalik. Kasi alam mo, matanda na kasi ako, pastor eh. Pero the back, sorry, but I have to, hindi ko kasi kaagad mabuga yung salita. Di mo nakita walang oposisyon na. Nobody criticizes government. And good that India is being criticized. But the left, pero ang left is not hating government. Nabili na ang mga and media. Wala kasi. You look, mga Pilipino, tignan ninyo. Walang liberal, walang criticize. Good na si Inday na criticize, at least merong mga taong nagkikriticize. Ang problema lang, itong nag-criticize sa kanya, yung mga tao na kalaban natin. At dapat naman, tama kayo. Kasi yung intelligence fund ni Inday is really geared towards the Filipino, yung Filipino. Maswerte ka. Kasi kung mabalik ako sa gobyerno, patay ko lahat. Tatapusin ko na lang talaga kayo. Alam mo, pastor, nung nauso yung Duterte sa judicial killing, international press, everything, New York Times, kung ano-ano, kikialam. Sige lang. Ingay sila. Including lawyers for or against me. There never was a time na alam nila kung ano talaga tama. I kept my silence. Sige sila daldal na dyan. Ako sige lang ako tawa. Wala naman kayong kwenta mga puti. The world, many years ago, you carve out so many colonies in Africa and made them slaves. Belgium, lahat yan. England, yung Dutch, Indonesia, Britain, Malaysia, Philippines, Americano, 50 years. So, sabi ko, I'm just pondering, ano kayang mangyari kung sabihin ko rin sa kanila na ang it's about time that yung Amerikano, itong administration ay passive sa Amerika. But in world affairs, I will side with America. The State Department must be, but the American people are very good and they have a good conscience of what the world should be. Pero yung mga tirada kasi ninyo, Tapos itong kung ano ang gusto ninyong gawin, you drop the Afghans there as without informing us. So I'm asking the president, make it public because this is country. You do not keep secrets about what is happening to my country because this is my country. And I will make, sabi ko, sa tungko kung tinitira ninyo, question ninyo kung ano-ano, kay police. So, ganun ang sabihin ninyo, corrupt ang police, you are no better than the police. The fact that you hide something there, it is by itself a corrupt practice. Make it public now. I will ask every Filipino, be he a farmer, an accountant, teacher, soldier, police, if you will not join me, so be it. I will do it alone. I have the kingdom, Jesus Christ, backing me up. Kasi kung tama ang intensyon ko, hindi ako tungulan ng Diyos.
Yes, Mayor. We saw your course here. Anong nangyari sa Pilipinas? Always look result. And the result was excellent. Yun lang, build. How can that in 6 years? Hindi ko man sinasabi, walang ginagawa. In your first year, second year, buwelo na tayo. You hit ground running. And see, ngayon, kahit saan ka pumunta, merong mga bypass road. Ngayon, under those projects that you have before. So, we will leadership by result. Ang resulta talaga. So, hindi na madayo sa iba. Ang resulta ng pamumuno ang nakikita natin. And Filipinos are still new up in your popularity. We still more than that. Hindi nila kakalimutan yun. We have a set of questions from our mga suki nating mga tagapagtanong, no?
Mainit.
Via Zoom. Dito sa studio. Ang first set natin is from Atol Panelo, si Paul Montibon, and pangatlo si Adando. And then we go to the... So if Attorney Sal Panelo is ready, we can now proceed to the Zoom for your questions.
Pastor, si Hana po ang mauna. Hana po, si Hana.
Hana muna.
Mauna po si Hana.
Hana Jean Sanso ang uuna.
Hana.
Come in.
Good evening po, Mayor. Ano po namin kay Mayor, kamakailan po ay nagkaroon po ng interview yung mga vlogger po kaya dating Bucor Chief Gerald Bantado. Sa ang mga vlogger, ayon po sa Department of Justice, dapat i-cite in contempt mga vloggers sa binasos nila ang korte sa ginawang interview kay Bantag na pinaghahanap ng batas. Ano po yung masasabi niyo dito, Mayor?
Again, sorry, I have not, hindi ko nakuha lahat.
si dating Bucor Chief General Bantag kinoconsiderang fugitive ng Estado.
Hello, 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 Maring Analisa. Mega love shout out. Thank you so much, Maring Analisa. Thank you, thank you. Ingat sa work, Maring Analisa. Thank you so much.
May nalabag ba daw na batas ang vloggers, yung mga banateros na 3 na review sa kanila. Sabi ng DOJ, dapat i-cite in contempt mga vloggers na nag-interview dahil binastos nilang korte sa ginawang interview kay Bantag, which is considered to be a fugitive of the state na pinag-arap ng batas. Ano yun?
Due respect, the highest kay Justice Secretary Kimuli. Wala pang kaso si Bantag sa korte. I don't know if there I don't know if there is 1 or 2 or 3 filed against him. Knowledge mo, kaso si Bantag. So, mga enterprise naggers or newsmen or members of media who would go to him and interview him and even picture him as a hero, dream. That cannot be by any measure contemptuous. As a matter of fact, it is the right of the Filipino who is into media, the freedom of expression, the freedom of the press. And even if there is a filed case against him, and even if he's a fugitive with a record now na may kaso, you can ask question. You are not prohibited by any law or by any regulation that could amount to a contempt of what? The civilian, the executive, wala kaming power to cite you in contempt, except the quasi-judicial bodies. Yung mga hearing, yung quasi-judicial bodies, papatawag ka. Pero kung wala mo, with due respect to the Secretary, I beg to disagree. We're both lawyers. I know that you're brighter than me. I'm just using what I have learned. I'm older than you. This is not to offend you, but I disagree. There is nothing at all that you can, even an iota of wrong or misdemeanor to hold these people liable. in contempt. It's only Congress who can cite you in contempt. The courts can cite you in contempt. Quasi-judicial bodies. The president cannot cite you in contempt and kill you. The mayor does not have contempt to cite of contempt. But the mayor, when I was mayor, I cannot, I did not.
Good.
I could not cite, wala akong na-cite in contempt. Wala akong power. Pero, tawagin kita, punta ka dito, ayaw pumunta, kay gangster ka, o ayaw punta dito, hindi ba kita ma-cite in contempt? Ganon ako. Ngayon, I make no excuses. I make no apologies at all. You like it from my mouth? Okay. If you do not like it, hate me. Wala pakialam. Sa ganon ako. Ganon ang patao. Prangka-prangka tayo. May alam naman ninyo rin, bakit ako matagu-taguin nyo?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, meron pa pong susunod na magtatanong. Isa rin po sa ating mga anchor sa SMNI. Admar Balando.
Magandang gabi po, Mayor, and maayong gabi, Pastor. Para po kay Mayor, nagkaroon po ng pagdinig kamakailan sa Kamara at lumalabas po sa pagdinig na umaabot na sa 30 billion pesos yung halaga ng illegal na droga na nasa bat o nasa wata po sa ilalim po ng Marcos administration. Alam natin na sa inyo pong administrasyon ay talagang isa ito sa tinututukan nyo, itong war on drugs. Ano pong sasabi ninyo sa achievement na ito ng Marcos administration po, Mayor?
Well, I am not giving a measure of success or failure sa kay Presidente. Sa time a president, and the problem is growing bigger and bigger. Bumabalik na, Mr. President. You have the power to eradicate it totally if you want, or make the problem less than what it is now. Ako, ang mga powers ng lahat man nasa iyo man. Madali lang man yan, Sir President. Gusto mo talaga. Kasi yung mga pulis na naabutan ko nandyan pa naman, pati mga pulis yung mga ulol, yung pumasok sa droga. Sinabi ko yung pulis kaya sabi ko, you know, I would like to go back again. This might be a repetition so many times. Pero ulitin ko, alam mo ba ang sinabi ko sa pulis? When I was asked, what do you think of pure police? Sabi ko, police, it's corrupt to the core. And I tried to correct it during my time. So what happened? After years, I'm gone, panahon na ni Bongbong, sinisira ninyo yung administrasyon because the generals and so many of you, son of pumasok kayo sa mga droga. Talaga ito, mga pulis. Sisirain lang ninyo yung administrasyon, pati yung Pilipino. Tignan mo. Sabi ko sa iyo, it will destroy the nation. It will cause the dysfunction of families. One drug pusher, user in a family brings dysfunction to that family. Now, if you distribute it in the squatters area, and the entire community there, the barangay becomes dysfunctional, what will happen to this country? I am sure that the military would not like it. Lalo na yung mga mayors. And even yung ano lang. Kasi ito na, nag-aaral yan sila eh. Tinitignan nila ang sitwasyon. The police, the right-thinking policemen. But the police is easily prone to corruption. Dahil sa pera. Ito ng military. Pag walang mangyari dito, but I'm sure that the President will can act on it on time. Because pag hindi ito, the military will take it on its own hand. Sigurado, Pilipino yan eh. Hindi naman Pakistani yung military natin. Mga Ilocano yan, karamihan. Mga Bisaya. Mga Ilonggo. Yung PMA, the institution itself would stand against it on all four. I know that. That's why I'm comfortable. Pag kaya ni Presidente yan. Alam mo, ang katapat dyan, kayo mga durugista, ang katapat dyan, lalo na kayo yung gumagawa talaga ng Cebu, o na-import ng Cebu. Ang kapatat ninyo dyan, hindi justice. I do not believe in that shit. Ang kapatat ninyo dyan, kamatayan. You do drugs, you bring in drugs, you cook drugs, you're dead. Justice, because justice becomes an illusion. If it's so widespread as to corrupt the nation, and it would cause this state on bended knees. Wala na. Ibang istorya na. Let the young soldiers there sa PMA to ponder. Kayong aral dyan yan. Ponder on these things and see what you can do for your country.
We have next question, Nori.
Maraming salamat
Thank you,
po,
Mayor.
Mayor. Susunod po na magtatanong si MJ Mondahar.
MJ, come in.
MJ.
Maraming salamat po, Pastor. Good morning po at good morning po sa ating former President Duterte. Mayor, may pinapabot po na tanong ang ating mga kababayan sa issue po ng territorial dispute sa West Philippine Sea. Mayor, pinapatanong po ng ating mga kababayan dahil tila ba ang Philippine Coast Guard ang may control o nagdidikta sa foreign policy po ng Pilipinas pagdating po sa sigalot sa South China Sea. May mga active officer daw po kasi na aktibo rin sa paglalahad ng salubin kaugnay sa dapat at tubo ng foreign policy ng Pilipinas sa China. Sir, Mayor, ano po ang payo niyo dito sa issue na ito? Maraming salamat po.
Yung declarations ng natin sa ating gobyerno, atin, pati ako, those are just mere words. Yung pagsasabi natin sa China na atin ito, hindi naman tayo pinapakinggan yan eh. Walang nangyayari dyan. It's just words. Ang China naman, Kasi sasagot na yan sa boards. Ngayon, ang pinapadala ng China dito sa West Philippine Sea, talaga sa boundary na atin, which they are claiming to, pinapadala nila Coast Guard. Yung Coast Guard is not part of the armed forces of the Philippines or of China maybe. Yung ating Coast Guard is part of the Department of Transportation. They are part ng armed forces of the Philippines. Pinapadala natin because we do not want war. Walang gray ship. Pinapadala ka. It's white. The gray navy. Kaya itong Chinese naman, government, pinapadala nila mga Coast Guard lang rin nila. It means na walang gira lang ito, ha. O, sige, mag-alitan lang tayo dito, magbanggaan tayo dito. Kung ilan ang mamatay dyan, mag-usap lang tayo. But we cannot send our great Philippine Navy, yung destroyer or cruiser natin, whatever, doon, kasi kung padala tayo ng Navy, magpadala ang China ng gray ships nila. Ships of war. So it can create, trigger a confrontation which would always be violent. Now, dito na test natin ng Amerika. Total, ginagamit Manila tayo ng ilang taon na for generations. Paano nila i-handle yung sitwasyon? Can they now participate, kung gray ships to gray ships, can they now sail along with Philippine ships war tayo doon, tapos papasok ng Air Force, papasok na rin ang Air Force natin. And if the missiles would rain down in Palawan at yung pinakamalapit na mga outpost ng Amerika, can we afford a war? I will say we can afford a war. At what cost? I don't know. But it would be the worst in our lifetime. Kaya wag na wag ng hanggang wala tayo talaga magawa. It will be a irritant year to year in year up. West Philippine Sea, West Philippine Sea, West Philippine Sea. Si Carpio Justice, West Philippine Sea. Ano mang magawa mo? Sige ka naman dal dyan. Solution. Punta ka ng tribunal, what? Where? What tribunal maniwala ang China ng judgment? Actually, literally, I will figure it out for you. Ang China, orderan ng international, whatever, you have no business telling me what to do. Huwag na tayo magdrama dyan ng West Philippine Sea, si Carpio, sige, dal-dal yan, Justice Carpio. Wala man na tulong. Baski baro na protektahan dyan. Scholarly, para kayong mga singer, sige lang, kanta ng kanta. Mabuti pa yung singer talaga. Duterte, umero yan. Yun man ang totoo. Kaya kausap ko ang China. Pag nausap ko ang China, ganun. Sa China. Sinasabi ko, that is ours. Publicly, kay Xi Jinping. Nandyan man si Miguel Dia pa yung, that is our territory. No. We will not quarrel. It is also ours. But because there is a conflict of interest, talk. Iwasan lang natin yan. Talagang pwedeng the most that we can do. When I was president, what would you want me to have done? Pagpadala ako doon ng 5 the late Rodrigo Duterte na ako. Kasi yung dapat kung magkaunang ako. Ako yung mag-decide. Ako yung unang dapat mamatay. Ako mauna sa impyerno. Total, susunod naman kayo lahat. So, what's the problem?
What's the solution?
Kaya, China, President Xi Jinping is a very courteous man. Soft-spoken. Vulgar ang bunga. Yung magsabi ako dito sa China, he understands. When we meet, and say, how are you? As a matter of fact, during last visit ko, nag-tour lang ako sa bakasyon ba. Hindi ako pumupunta ng Europe, hindi ako pumupunta ng Amerika. Hindi na talaga ako pupunta ng Amerika kailanman. Ayaw kong Amerikano. Ngayon, papiliin mo ako, sino? President Biden o President Xi Jinping? President Xi Jinping ako. Total yung Philippine Sea, wala matala tayong magawa. Sabi niya, I will not. Alam mo, sabi talaga ito, narinig ni Just Midaldia. Sabi niya, to declare war against the Philippines. Pagkasabi niya, hindi ko lang murmuring, ang liit-liit mo, bakit sa Bisaya pa ganito. Kagamay-gamay ni mo, bakit kita patulan? That was the murmur of yung binuksan ko. The possibility of a conflict. So if we was the president, we do not want to. We are just a small nation. We must admit that I cannot even raise a. Kaya sabi niya, matatapi niya, almost parang nag-Chinese na siya. Ang liit mo, bakit patulan kita? Yan talaga ang sabi ng China. Ibig sabihin ba, awa siya kung magkagira tayo kasi alam niya, pulpugin niya tayo. Kayong mga Pilipino nakikinig ngayon, boundary lang, tubig lang naman, hayaan na. Bakit tayo maniwala ka ng mga Amerikano insist on Philippine Sea? Karami ng dagat natin, di ibigay na nila. Oh, sige, iyon na yan. Ilan tunala ng dagat? Ilan? Wala namang pag-awa natin doon na isla na Puro tubig. O gusto niya dito sa Davao, mayroon mo pa maraming tubig, bigay ko sa iyo na yan. Bakit ako makipagpataya na ito mga daldal na West Philippines, wala akong magawa. Wala talaga tayong magawa. The problem is, or to be frank with you, we cannot do anything even without or even with itong puro daldal justice, curfew, writing, so curious about what can you do? Kaya ating military, pati Navy, sabi ko, ako presidente, ibahog doon. Ano bang bahog sa Tagalog?
Itaya.
Bakit ko itaya yung mga sundalo ko na wala na katalang kalaban-laban? So, pero ko tapos itulog mo yung mga tubig sa kanila. Sige, yun. West Philippine Sea. East Philippine Sea. Gusto mo dito sa Pacific, iyon na yan. Bakante man yan. Yung pag-parking kayo, agaw. Wala, tubig, wala. Huwag lang, sinabi ko kay Presidente. Kami mga Pilipino, mahirap lang. So, sana maintindihan mo na maraming Pilipino dyan na nangingisda. Big times because we are poor. Ano mo si President Xi Jinping must be there for us to be safe. Tayong magawa. Any other president of China would still insist na kanya yan. But itong tayo si President Xi Jinping, maawain. Kita mo hanggang ngayon, nakapag-isda pa yung mga sinabi ko, maawa man sa amin. And he understands the plight of the Philippines. Sabi, ganun na yan. And you can see what is his reaction. Makita mo, sige pangisda yung Pilipino dyan. So kayo mga Pilipino, ibigay mo yung tubig lahat doon sa China. Yung mga isda, kunin mo lang lahat. Okay? Wala man tayong...
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, meron po tayong magtatanong from the studio. So, tawagan si Country Villanueva.
Good morning po, Pastor. Mayor, isang taon na pong pag-iikot dito po sa pagbago at paglago ng lugar sa pagpasok po ng mga investors na nakatulong sa total well-being po ng komunidad. Mayor, with the seemingly peaceful atmosphere of the region with its insurgency-free status, ano po kung meron pa ang kailangan gawin para masabi na tayo ay tunay at tuluyan na pong malaya sa impluwensya ng komunistang teroristang grupo?
We are, I said, experiencing the impact of the Communist Party in PA at its lowest. Kumbaga, low tide talaga sila. Hanggang paana lang sila noon. And it is to the military and the police and the lowly CAFGO and the police that we should be thankful for. At yung mga LCAC, wag sana putulin ni Presidente kasi nag-umpisa sa panahon ko. Hindi ko sinabi ako ang nagpahinto. I do not claim military police yan. Hindi anybody but nobody, no president can ever claim. Hindi naman siya nagpapakamatay dyan eh. Military, the CAFGO, the police. Yun yung mga yung mga sub-44 mga. Doon tayo pasalamat. At kung na bababa man yan, because the military dismantled so many communist fronts. 52, itong front Davao, dito. Kaya kayong mga dyan, baril, pag may nakita kayo, huwag na ninyong paramihin, barilin na kaagad nyo. Basta mag-isa, dalawa, tatlo. Pag magsobra na takbo kayo sa military, turo ninyo kung saan. Huwag kayo kasi takot-takot kayo. Yan dyan nga eh. Dyan nag-uumpisa yan. When you are intimidated, threatened, you just keep silence. Aputang ina.
Yan. Totoo yan.
Papasok ng papasok yan eh.
Yes.
Kaya ngayon, kung magsama ka, sabi ka, takbo ka doon sa detachment. Sir, ngayon makikita kami 5 armas. Sabihin ba ng detachment commander, sampalin mo yan sila tapos patayin mo. Tapos, sir, tapos na. Very good. Ngayon, kung magsabi, sir, marami na. Sige, kami ang bahala. Alam mo, ang unang papasok dyan sa mga barangay, hindi ang armado. Yung mga civilian, yung nagle-lecture, patawag, gano'n, istorya. Maganda yan. As corrupt, ito si Duterte, gano'n, may mansion dito, mansion doon. Ito si Inday, intelligence man. Yan ang istorya niyan. That's the narratives. Pagkatapos ng narratives nila, mga komunista yung ano-ano, basta yung magandang buhay naman. Hindi man sila sabi komunista kami. O ganon. Pero may mga kasama yan na may mga baril. Pero hindi lantad. Ang civilian is usually wala naman talaga yung farmer. Kaya the best is just to report it immediately to the barangay captain. And for this barangay captain, it is mandatory for you under pain of dereliction of duty. Pwede kang patayin pag sinikrito mo. If you're a barangay captain tapos nagkakaputi ka ng mga enemies of this, pwede kang patayin. Ako, tanungin mo ako, wala akong pakialam. Pinagawa ng korte, hayaan mo yan, judge. Sabihin ng judge, prisuhin natin. Judge, tumahimik ka. Kita. Wala kang rin magawa. Si kayo daldal about righteous, about law. You know, it's not, those are mere words. Maganda pakinggan, law and order. Ano ba sa loob ng law? Patayan niya. Hindi peace and order. Do not ever think about the peace. Think about the order. In order to establish order, you have to use force and you have to kill if need be. May lecture ko lang yan. Labas ko na, total matanda na rin ako. Prangka-prangka lang sa tao. Sino pa yung mag-ask?
Pamilya.
Last na lang po, Mayor. Salamat po. Si Jean Domingo.
Yes, good evening, Pastor. Good evening, Mayor. Mayor, I know you've been asked this question several times already na po. Meron po kasi mga lumalabas sa survey ngayon. Tawagan ng muling balik sa politika kung saan sa isang survey po, Mayor, kanina din po habang nakikinig kami sa inyo, nabibigyan po ng pag-asa yung taong bayan, Mayor, because makailang ulit niyo pong sinabi na kung kayo ang nasa pwesto. If given a chance, Mayor, may tumakbo kayong muli in any position in the government po.
Alam mo, may wonder, if I can use the word, is wala akong platform, you know. You just imagine it's not a platform where I can use to talk to the Filipino people in an official capacity. Magdaldal man ako sa inyo ngayon kung anong sabihin ko, walang impact yan. Pero kung nakatayo ako dito as a congressman or as a mayor o senador for that matter, may platforma ako. I have a platform, legal, and I can talk to the people, and I will tell you this is what has happened or what happened, and we have to do this. Ngayon, sabi nila magtakbo ako ng presidente. Ang problema, ang mga anak ko. Pati ang asawa ko. Lalo na yung anak ko, lahat mahal ko man sila, pero matanda na kasi itong tatlo. Yung anak ko sa second wife ko, hindi talaga papayag yan. Alam niya, nakikita niya ako na, matanda na college na. With a limp, mayroon na akong baston. I sometimes sound monotonous kasi pabalik-balik ang discussion ko. Kasi I want to impress people of my cranial ability. Parang diskumpiyado ako na hindi kita makuha sa isa pa, which is really my weakness. Or baka dementia na, pabalik-balik. Marami akong kaedad dito na official, no, they have acquired dementia. I just hope that, Nuri, you can call my attention and say, Mayor, this will be the last Kikan Samasa because you are losing your capability or competence to talk sense. Tumatanda na rin ako.
You're very lucid. Still.
Pero bastos talaga ang bunganga. Saka yung prangka ako, hindi ako natago-tago.
Make you live.
Either, kilala. Sigurado yan. Diyos, mas ano ako sa inyo in terms of my relationship to the spiritual God. Mas malalim ang ano ko sa Diyos. Kaya ako medyo matapang. Punta ako ng bukid. Hindi ako I don't fear losing my physical. I always say, God, you have made me the instrument of peace. I come to this town, to this forest, to this barangay, to talk to the NPAs if they want peace. If they want to kill, then so be it. I might lose my... Hindi ako lalo nang matanda na ako. My bond to God has been getting more stronger. Kasi ako, alam ko malapit na ako. So, yung ano ko sa Diyos. But I only think of Him every night before I sleep. Walang, I hope it will not offend you. You know, when I'm in the bathroom, I'm sitting on my ass to do the shit. Wag sana ma-offend kayo. God does not really care kung anong posisyon mong ginagawa mo. But those are the times that I do it at night. I do my cleaning process sa katawan. Tapos maganon lang ako. Minsan, kinakatok na ako ng... We have been there 2 hours. Hindi niya alam na nagka-communicate ako sa Diyos. At kung ano ang dapat kong gawin. Takes time to process your life. And umuupo ka sa bowl, ha? God does not mind it. God does not need you kneeling down. Tapos yung anong gi-promise mo sa God, hindi mo gawin pag kinabukasan, iba ang gawin mo. Ma-piss off ang God niya. You sit there for to clean your body. God will not do it. God, because that is the time that you are more contemplative ka. Ano ka ganun ka? Magkakaroon ako ng cramps. Sa katagal. Kinakatok nga ako eh. Kaya pag kinakatok na, plus ka agad ako. Tapos na ako. Ganun katagal. Ganun katagal. Pero hindi ko, alam niya, sinabi ko sa kanya. You know, I'm talking to God. I clean first my body. Tapos na. Malinis na ang katawan ko. Then I just sit there. I'm talking. Dapat sa all the time. Sa gabi lang. I will do it tonight. I'm sure. Pag balik ko.
Yes.
I'll be talking to God. That's how I...
Very good. Ito yan. That's really true.
Maraming salamat po, Mayor.
Si Panelo, kanina.
Nawala na siya sa connection.
Bukas
Kaya mga matanda, huwag na kinig-kinig dito. Kaya this is only good for the youth and the... So,
Thank you.
I hope I have not offended anybody. I'm just talking about issues. And personally, kung tayo, that to be a different story. I do not hate the Americans. But I said, I repeat, baka sabihin niyo na paparinig-rinig ako, pabalik-balik ako. I'd rather talk to Xi Jinping. West Philippine Sea, usap tayo. Kasi ang Amerika, pati China, you have to cross the Pacific Ocean. But look at it for each other. Walang boundary yan, ha? Pacific. Pero yung missile nila nakatutok sa isa't isa. And yet, wala silang pinag-away ang boundary. Tayo, West Philippine Sea, gusto nito mga unggoy na ito dito sa Pilipinas, yung mga scholar. You want me to, you want our soldiers and policemen truthfully Huwag na tayo magbulahan. Kung ano lang totoo. I will not do that. I will call Sir, Mr. Xi Jinping, then, hear me out first before you make the decision. Pakinggan mo muna ako bago ka mag... But I have the highest respect for President Xi Jinping. Amerika, hindi ko kilala yung presidente, wala ko. Wala kaming hindi pareho kami. The rapport is very good. So I can talk to Mr. Xi Jinping. I remember nga, balikin ko ulit ha. Be the last. President, please, this is about Philippine Sea. Anything goes there, please do not. We cannot afford a war. So he grumbled. Parang pati pa naman kayo kaliit-liit ninyo, pakialaman ko pa. In English, pero paano na? Parang more of an irritation. Bakit ba ganun kaliit-liit mo? Patulan pa kita. So China is a thinking China. President Xi Jinping is a thinking president. Ayaw ko, wala na akong pakialam dyan sa Amerika. Dito lang ako, kaya may problema ito sa West Philippine Sea. And a thinking president of China may not solve the problem, itong boundary, but he can provide an environment of peace. Again, I would refer you to China and America. The Pacific Ocean is so wide. There is nothing to talk about boundary. And yet they are ready to kill each other at a moment's notice. West Philippine Sea. Magkita tayo doon sa West Philippine Sea. Doon ko kayo ihulog sa West Philippine Sea. Ipakain ko kayo sa mga pating doon. Maraming salamat po, Pilipino, sa panahon nito.
Maraming salamat, Mayor.
So guys, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Yan, si Tatay Digong. Magaling talaga siya. Ang galing ni Tatay Digong. Hindi kagaya ng isa, puro happenings. Hindi naisip ang taong bayan kung anong nangyayari. Hinayupak. The best ka talaga, Tatay Digong. Namimiss namin ang war on drugs mo. Sana may balik pa yun. War on drugs ni Tatay Digong. Martin Romualdez is Boy Suhol. Thank you so much, Sir Efren. Thank you. Abet Chanchis. Thank you so much. Jack Jara, thank you so much sa inyong lahat. Huwag nating kalimutan ang PDP Laban at saka si Pastor Quiboloy, si Rodante Marcoleta, sila lang makakatulong sa atin na mga maliliit na tao. Yung iba dyan, huwag na lang. Mga hinayupak. Mga hinayupak ang mga yan. Lalo na si Abaloslos. May pakunwari-kunwari pa. So guys, thank you so much sa inyong lahat sa pagsasama niyo sa akin. Thank you so much guys. So guys, thank you. Maraming salamat sa ulitin. Next live mamaya, Basti Duterte. Abanganin ni si Basti Duterte. Mayroon siyang pasabog. Thank you so much sa inyong lahat, guys. See you next live. 75 million in the house. Thank you so much sa inyong lahat. So, bye-bye.